Hey, everybody. GameHounds podcast. We are back. Yes, I am still in the place that I'm not supposed to be in right now. I'm supposed to be elsewhere doing more stuff better, not here. And
Are you
I'm
still
sorry.
having audio problems with the laptop?
No, actually, this week, I just too lazy to go out the car and get my laptop.
Fair. Okay. That's fine. As long as it's not an audio issue, anything else is
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, yeah, it could be an audio issue. I don't know. But for right now, at least, it's not. Um, so yeah, we were late last or we were canceled last week, sort of at the last minute. I mean, I think I did it
You
in the morning.
canceled last week
I
because
did.
you had like the weirdest move situation. I think you spent the day moving a couch.
Yeah, all right. So, let me tell you a little story, and it's a cautionary tale of buying a couch online. So, I got a screaming good deal on a great couch on Wayfair. Like, it's a $2,000 couch, and I got it for, like, $650. Fantastic. Yeah, not bad. Because I mean, there's a few things that I'm gonna pay up for. Everything else, I'm just gonna go dirt cheap. But there's a couple things you should always pay up for. A well, three things: a good mattress, a good pillow, and a good couch. Everything else you can get used, cheap, dumpster dive for it, whatever you want. But those 3 things are key. So, I was gonna spend a little extra money on the couch, and I found very a couch that was probably more expensive than what I would have paid, but I got such a good deal on it. Fantastic. So, I figured that okay, so first off, I ordered the couch in such a way so that I expected it to arrive at the new apartment on a Saturday because I didn't want to take time off of work to be home for the delivery of the couch. So I'm getting ready for work on Thursday, and I get a notification on my phone, a little text. It said, "Hi, your order from Wayfair is out for delivery." I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I call into work and say, "Look, oh, and it's due to arrive between." And I'm getting this at like 8:30. It's due to arrive between 9:30 and 11. And I'm like, "Oh fuck." All right. Well, I call into work. I'm like, "I'm so sorry, guys, but I got to be here because they're delivering a couch to my new place." So I go to my place that barely has Wi-Fi at this point. I mean, it doesn't even have Wi-Fi. It just has. I have a cable modem, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi yet. So I don't even have a Wi-Fi router. I'm like literally having to plug in to the back of my computer to work,
Okay,
sitting
but at
on
least
the floor.
you can plug it in. That's
I could
fine.
plug it in. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and it's getting close to 11 o'clock. I'm like, hmm. Last time I looked, that guy was actually fairly close. I'm really surprised it's taking him this long, expecting a knock
Oh
at the door at
god.
any time.
There's so okay, brief aside, the Amazon app. When you have the Amazon app, it might
Mhm.
every now and then tell you, "Hey, your order's 2 stops away." I've looked at that and it says, "Oh, your order is nearby." I look at it and I see, "Oh, it's just up the street."
Mhm.
And I look and then I see it driving away and it gets on the highway and it goes someplace else. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then 4 hours later, the package gets delivered to me. Because he comes back around. It's like, "What? Why? Why?
He
What?"
screwed up.
Uh, No, because that happens regularly.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
I'm saying like this guy should be here now. I got a
yeah.
notice that it should be at 11. What?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe he's running a little bit late. So it's like, 11:10, 11:15, and then I get a little ding on my phone, a text. Now, my my complex has something called package concierge, which is an automated computerized system that delivery people have. They're essentially lockers with a computer screen, and I have a sign-in code and a secret code that are mine and mine alone. These guys, the Amazon delivery guys, will, when they get a package, they plug it all in, they say who it's for, and they stick it in the locker, and the locker closes. It cannot be opened until I come, put in my code, and then boop, it pops open. I can get my
Yeah,
box.
we got one of those. Those are very useful.
Right. Oh, they're fantastic. Now, if you have big packages, they usually have something called an oversized package room, right? These are for ones that don't fit in lockers, like, like a box.
We
Gotta
have
have it in a room.
there are some big lockers, but we don't have a separate room.
We have a separate room that is like got shelves in it, and these are for big packages. So I get a little notification, bing, from concierge saying, "You have packages in the delivery room." I'm like,
Cool.
I didn't order anything but the couch.
Mm.
The delivery room is on the entire other side of the complex.
I mean, that still would have been a pain to move the couch.
Right. So I'm like, how? Well, so I go over there. I put in my code into the oversized room. I open up the oversized room, and the oversized room is absolutely filled with boxes, like floor to ceiling. You could only step in like 2 steps because the entire room is filled with boxes, giant boxes, all of them with my name on it. The couch came in 7 boxes, giant, humongous boxes. It was not assembled, and more so, it only listed 1 delivery for 7 boxes.
Mm.
So I'm
Because they're
like,
all the
"Oh,"
same thing.
because they're all the same thing. So I'm like, "Oh, shit, I can't move this." So I just closed the door. I'm like, "I gotta get Chris to help me." So meanwhile, I have left the
Well,
package delivery room completely full with everybody else's packages blocked in by my 7 gigantic, heavy packages.
wait, how
Like,
did you expect
I'm
to
talking
move
about
the
packages
couch?
I'm talking packages like 4 feet high and maybe 4 feet across. Massive.
So, how did you expect to move the couch?
So I figured, okay, we could probably fit one of them like on the back of a Tesla, and maybe we won't be able to close the whole door, but we just have to drive it around the block to the other side. And I have an elevator. My
No, no,
house,
I'm
my apartment is really near my elevator.
I meant like if the whole couch got delivered, how were you going to move that from the drop-off place to your apartment?
Right.
Or did
That's
you
what I was
expect
saying.
it or did you expect the whole couch to get delivered to your apartment?
I figured the whole couch was going to come to my apartment, or if
Okay,
it came in
okay.
multiple boxes, it would come in to my apartment. I ordered something from Living Spaces. Living Spaces. I ordered something from Living Spaces that was a patio set. It was my first thing I got. They delivered it to my door.
Hmm.
Walked right in, dropped it. Thank you. Just pulled it all out of the box, put it out there, collapsed the box, took it, sent it out to recycling. Easy peasy. So I figured Wayfair would do the same thing, but no, they send it by FedEx, and FedEx does not deliver to the door. They deliver to the mailroom. So I look in, I open it, I'm like, oh, there's no way I can do this by myself. I close the door. I nope out of there, recognizing that I have completely created this bolus of packages in the package room where nobody else can get into the package room because my boxes are blocking everything. So I'm like, shit, I have got to get this moved. So I go home at the end of my workday. I come back here and I'm like, Chris, I need to move these packages because if I don't, I'm going to get yelled at. And he's like, no problem. I can help you, but I can't do it tonight can we do it tomorrow night? I'm like, yes, we can do it tomorrow night. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to leave it one day, one day, one day. So then Friday comes and I have Chris. Our plan was we're going to stick one box at a time into the back of the Tesla, drive it around the corner to the my garage. My elevator's right there, and my apartment is right next to the elevator. So we just like essentially kind of manhandle it together up the elevator and into my house. We'd have to do that 7 times.
Okay.
So we show up like 9:30 at night because this is the first opportunity that we've had a chance because we have to feed the girl, we have to feed the grandpa, we have to feed, take care of everything in the house. We show up. I put in my code and it says, you have no packages. You've already picked up your packages because I opened the door and closed it.
That's how the lockers work.
Right.
But yeah, it's a little different with a room.
Right.
Hmm.
So I go home that night. That's Friday night. Saturday, I call in the morning and to the package concierge company and said, hey, look, here's the situation. I didn't take anything out of the it's a third party company. I didn't take anything out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 7 boxes. So even if I did take one package, there's 6 more that I need to get into that room about. And they're like, well, we cannot open that room for you. We can't even assign you a new one. Or sorry, we can't assign you a new code, but what we can do is that you can call us and we will open the door for you. And I'm like, I have to do that 7 times. And she's like, yes. I'm like, all right. So I'll just call and I'll wait on hold and I'll hit the press 1 to speak to a customer service, blah, 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 blah. Go through the tree to get to a human being to be placed on hold to say, hi, can you open up the door again? So this is now Saturday. Saturday afternoon, I go over there because we've got daughter, we've got grandpa, everything's complicated. I need to have Chris. I need to have Chris's car. It's a thing. So Saturday afternoon, I call, standing out in front with Chris again. Hi. We're closed. We close at 2:00 on Saturdays. Please call back when we are open. Motherfuckers, they could have said that. So that's Saturday. So now these boxes have been clogging up the mailroom Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. People are starting to get pissed. I'm getting little notes from the management of the property of, hey, you really need to come and get your packages. And I'm like, I'm trying.
Can't the management do something? Don't they have like a key to open it?
They do, but of course they were closed at the time.
Oh, jeez.
Everything was closed by the time I got there.
Well, at least on Sunday, you could get the management to come, open it with the key, and like.
That is why we didn't have a show on Sunday, because I've got to get these packages out. So I went on Sunday and it's the time, I knew what time they're open to close up. I knew I had to be there before 3. So, which was, really podcast time. So I had to go, and that's why we canceled, because everything was just going to shit. And I, of course, showed up and it's like, hi, I have packages I've been trying to get out of the mailroom for 4 days. And the woman's like, oh, yeah, you.
Oh, you're that person.
You're the one with the packages in the mailroom. I'm like, I am so sorry. I've been trying to get them. So, yes, we finally got the packages into my house. And many days later, I was able to, in fact, I'll even show you. Many days later, I was able to finally assemble the couch. This is not a very good way to show you, but this is. There you go. There's the couch.
Hmm.
That's the first bit
Looks
of
nice.
yeah. Now that's an example of what the couch looks like. Let me show you what the boxes look like. This is what I had to move. That and wait, that all that in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
all of that was all the boxes that I had to essentially open it. Well, get up to my apartment, and then I had to open them up individually, one by one. So that's why we didn't have a show yesterday or last week. But to be honest, I would have much rather been doing this show than doing what I did,
Then moving boxes.
than moving boxes.
You were playing Ookie Bookie Spelookie.
I was. I was moving boxes. Pointless, heavy, cumbersome boxes. I had to there was a mission. It was timed,
Mm-hmm.
right? There was a sense of urgency. There was a puzzle that I had to solve to get to the boxes, and then logistics from getting the box from where it was to where it's going. You're right. That was Ookie Bookie
Real
Spelunky.
life. Yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely. So, bottom line, I have a couch. When I move, that couch is staying.
That couch is never moving from its position.
Fuck that noise.
fuck your
That's right.
couch.
Fuck, literally, fuck that couch. That couch can go fuck itself. So yeah, that's why we were late. And so very long story. Picked up our
AC it
Christian
says
entry. It fit directly through the door. PC for the win. Yeah, I know. Actually, everything else that I'm using to outfit the house in Point Richmond in town, there is a woman who is a furniture stager for real estate for selling houses, and she has warehouses of furniture that she's just like she holds a sale of like, all right, I'm done, I'm done with this. She just puts it all out and she's like $10, take it.
oh man.
I got 2 chairs. I don't know if I can see them.
That's
Let me
kind of
show you my
awesome.
chairs that I absolutely love. Where are my chairs? Yeah, I got 2 chairs like that. They're very nice. They run about 200 between $200 and $300 a piece.
Oh geez.
I got them for $30 each. So for $60, I have 2. Then went and bought the other 2 chairs, and I got them on 50% off sale. So I actually now have 4 chairs, but 2 of them I spent $60 on. The other 2 I spent $300 on. So I ended up having a set of 4 for far less than if I'd have gone and gotten.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I'm not buying, and it's really hard. I really want to buy some furniture. I really want to buy some furniture. I'm not buying shit.
You're waiting for the staging sales?
Next Saturday.
Oh.
She's holding another sale. Every other Saturday, she holds sales to just throw just blast as much stuff as she can out.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Where is she? Can we get in on this?
Point Richmond. You can come over to Point Richmond if you want. Can't
Oh, we
come to
gotta
my
go.
house.
We gotta go all the way to Point Richmond.
Yeah, that's where it is. Point Richmond. That's where her warehouse is.
Man,
Some of her stuff,
there's always gotta be a catch.
some of her stuff has been like she's just getting rid of it for free, and she's like, "Hey, do you want it?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. I would love another bed." So I have a whole bed, a full size bed that for my guest room that was free. It's gorgeous. So yeah, that's the story of my house. I have yet to sleep in it yet. I have a bed there. I have to assemble it. I've yet to sleep there, but that is going to happen very shortly. And supposedly by Friday of next week, I will have a bathroom, I will have backstairs, and I will have water. So I will be able to sleep in my old house and start cleaning it from all, and hopefully I don't get hantavirus, like that the what's his bucket's wife who died of the hantavirus.
I have no idea.
Oh, he just died. James, it wasn't James Caan.
Oh, Gene Hackman?
Gene Hackman's wife. That's what she
Hmm.
died of. Was hantavirus, which is transmitted by the feces of rodents. So yeah, I hopefully I won't get it. But yeah, I'm gonna be deep cleaning the entire kitchen, throwing out a lot of stuff, and then I gotta get a refrigerator before I can actually stay for any length of
Yeah,
time there.
yeah, and refrigerator is definitely important.
But I have to clean the kitchen before I get the refrigerator because I don't want to take out the refrigerator and put in the refrigerator and then have to clean behind the new refrigerator. So
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, that's a long story of something that has nothing to do with video games. So Nick, what have you been playing?
I've been
Oh,
playing.
wait. Hold on a second. Oh, I forgot. Music.
Hmm.
Intro music.
This podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 775. We are recording this on Sunday, March 9th, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is, no, wait, over there, Nick DiNicola.
Oh, from my perspective, it's the opposite.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's always that's the way things
Which
go in here. So yeah.
okay,
Nick,
well,
what have you been playing?
before I get to what I've been playing, I got to talk about what I'll be drinking.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We've got pumpkin
Pickle?
pie, pickle, and coffee.
Have you done pickle yet?
I've not done pickle.
Let's do pickle.
Okay,
I'm
and
voting
I
pickle.
think pickle is
Anybody else in the
appropriate.
chat room have
Okay,
anything,
Jupiter,
any
if you want
vote
to go,
either way?
go.
AC Wraith, anybody in the chat room? What should he be drinking? Pickle, coffee, or pumpkin pie? Oh, he's got his own pickle to what does it say on there?
I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh, Jesus. Where in the world and why do you have that?
It's a cat toy.
Oh, it's a cat toy. Okay.
Yeah, they love this pickle. I think I got it at was it PetSmart or something else? I have gotten them multiple pickles.
Oh, really?
I
They
have
love the pickle that much.
I have a stash of future pickles for when this one inevitably gets torn to shreds.
Yeah, Zoe, my old dog, had a thing for these little squirrels, and we would just buy them by the bag because she would eviscerate a squirrel, and then we just haul out another one. And it was her by far the favorite thing in the world.
They also really love this carrot.
Oh,
Which
interesting.
make no mistake, they don't like vegetables. If I were to take an actual vegetable and put it on the table and
Mhm.
let them go at it, they'd go up, sniff it, and then walk away.
Right.
They don't give a shit about vegetables.
So,
Oh, good.
what? Oh, yeah. How is it? Pickle was his choice. Good. Unanimous decision. Pickle, pickle, pickle all the way around. What does it taste like?
Surprisingly, there is a bit of a pickle flavor.
Really? I think they
Yeah.
might be we might have assumed two things. We first assumed that they would taste exactly like what it was supposed to taste like, and then it didn't. And then we assumed the entire other direction and said, oh, it doesn't taste anything like it's supposed to taste like. But maybe it's somewhere in the middle, that it's a good tasting soda, but it's got that little hint of whatever it
Or
is.
maybe they wanted it to taste like what it's supposed to taste like, but they're really bad at it.
Which means it's good. Is it not drinkable?
I mean, I'm not a fan of pickles.
Yeah.
And so
What's the soda taste like? Is it
it's like carbonated, sweet, mildly picklish water.
so maybe the pickle soda really is a pickle soda?
Yeah,
So not a
I'm
fan.
not a
Not a
fan
fan
of
of
the
that one.
pickle. I'm getting too much pickle from the pickle soda. I, I don't know how much more I want to drink of it.
It's like that horrible Jelly Belly game where it's like
Oh, the Harry
either
Potters.
that's right, yeah, the Harry Potter game where it's like it could be barf or it could be strawberry.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's like, okay, we're gonna have all of these bottles and they're all gonna taste delicious, but one,
I
and
mean,
it's gonna be pickle.
I respect those Jelly Belly Harry Potters for having the balls to actually make jelly beans that taste horrid.
Yeah.
Like that makes it fun. You're
Mhm.
gambling with your taste buds.
Yes, you are.
Ugh.
So, all right. So tell me about what you've been playing.
Wash the pickle out of my mouth. Oh. I have been playing one thing and one thing only, and that is Kingdom Come.
Oh, good for you.
According to the in-game timer, I have been
Mhm.
playing for just over 50 hours.
Wow.
According to PlayStation, I have over 100 hours.
Oh, geez. Wait a minute.
And
Oh, how is that the case?
well, because when you reload a save, the in-game timer doesn't affect that. It says
Mhm.
this is how long you've played in this timeline. So that means if you reload a save, you remove that time that you played. So if you like saved and then you didn't save for another hour and you died and you had to reload the save from an hour ago, the timer would be reset by an hour. But I don't think that I have save scummed 50 hours worth of game. I think a lot of that is save scum time plus just leaving it running as I go and do other things.
Mhm.
Uh, so I trust the in-game timer. I'm at least 50 hours in. Let's add 20 just to be safe. Uh, I am currently in the middle of like a big story moment. Like once you kind of do all these side quests and you kind of do all these you get into the wedding for
Mhm.
Trotsky, that kind of sets off a big series of events. And it's interesting how all the things play out and how so much of it is just you're just forced gumping your way through this world. Just one debacle that I don't know how you survive
Great way
to
to put it.
another, just bumbling around and like
I am
getting
totally changing the
saved.
name of the show right now. Forrest Gumping my way through King CD.
And it's hilarious.
Oh yeah. It's a but that's the joy of this game.
It
It
is.
just
Well,
it
it's
all
hilarious.
goes wrong.
It's hilarious, but it is also appropriately dramatic. Like when
Mhm.
you get these betrayals and side switching, and when like, oh, you got to do this, and now you got to kill this
Right.
person. Like it hits because you know all these characters, and you're like, oh shit, now I've got to fight you. Well, I'm gonna try to talk my way out of it.
Right.
And yeah, the whole thing is just really, really fun. The whole medieval sim lifestyle. I've gotten far enough
Mhm.
that it's almost like any RPG. I think I might be too strong. Like I'm not worried about failing skill checks. When I get in a fight, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. And there's something about that of, oh shit, even though I got so frustrated
Mhm.
when I got into a fight that I just couldn't win, now looking back, I kind of miss it. I kind of miss the risk and the danger.
Right. Right. Um I I am in a quandary
Hmm.
because it is very hard in this house to play Kingdom Come Deliverance because the grandpa is downstairs. I mean, I've already moved the PlayStation from upstairs to upstairs because
Mhm.
systems have changed. When grandpa went home for the weekend, for like I thought it was supposed to be 2 weeks. It ended up being a week and change. Um, I was playing downstairs and it was great because I could play downstairs. But now grandpa's back. I moved it upstairs. But I don't have any time to play it during the day, and at night, upstairs is where
Mm,
movies are being watched.
mm.
So I have not been able to play it at all.
Oh no.
And I have got to get into my apartment. That's the solution. I need to get to my apartment so I
Yeah.
can play Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Need your own space.
Right. I don't have a television yet, but Chris has given me his old television. And
Okay.
here's my situation. I need some input on this from you and everybody in the chat room. I have one wall, all right, that is I've done the math on it. I have one wall that is 84 inches across, all right? I'm not supposed to be wall mounting anything, right?
Hmm.
Because it's an apartment. I don't want to wall mount anything. But the television I'm getting is a 75-inch television, which is obscenely large. And we have had many discussions about I don't like the idea of a room having an oversized television. It just looks wrong to me.
That's that's that. What? I didn't understand you. Why you were speaking Spanish? Like what?
And it's a nice one. It's a nice QLED. It's better than any television I've owned before.
Nice.
Far bigger than any television set I've ever owned.
I was gonna say 75. Good job.
Yeah,
That's good size. Good
that's a
size.
big effing TV. That's a big effing TV. And the reason why that TV is downstairs is because he just bought an OLED that is an 80-inch downstairs. That's just too big. I mean, it fits in a big house like this. It
Mhm.
fits
Oh
because
yeah.
it's like literally the whole length of the house is the kitchen and the den area. So 80 inches, absolutely. A 75-inch television is 66 inches across, and I have 84 inches on
Wait.
that wall. It
What?
would be essentially the entire wall, minus 8 inches. I would have this much on either side of that wall. Now,
I mean, that's. I don't think that's a bad
actually,
thing.
probably less because I forgot that there is a mantle that runs around the corner that it would probably be actually the entire length because there's a mantle that's about 4 inches wide.
Hmm. Also, wait. I want to. AC Wraith. What do you mean IUD? Nick likes TVs that can give IUDs.
Excuse me?
What's an I? Is that what's an IUD?
Well, other than the birth control,
Yeah.
the intrauterine device, I should hope not. I think you mean something else. I said it before, it's canon.
Also, to be fair, Forrest Gump may not have stood everything, but he was quite skilled.
True.
Oh,
True.
disease in this case. I'm not getting a disease from my TV.
What does IUD stand for? Disease. What IUD?
Intrauterine? No,
Device.
intrauterine devices.
Are
Yeah,
is a birth control.
that's the birth control one.
Yeah. We laughed the first time I said it. I brought it back. Oh,
There's
okay.
the
Maybe he's meant DUIs. I don't even remember that conversation about Nick likes TVs that gives him IUDs.
yeah. Also, the only acronym for IUD Google can find is the birth control.
Intrauterine device. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I know that you love big televisions, but I
I
mean,
like big televisions.
this would be the entire wall. The
Mhm.
entire wall. I showed you the picture. Now, granted, this is the picture of all of the boxes. Where's the boxes? Oh, did I not take the picture of the boxes?
You just showed us the boxes.
I know, but I don't have a picture of that wall. I don't think. Do I?
Mm.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. I know that this is terrible. All right.
Okay.
See where the boxes are? Behind the boxes are is the fireplace. That wall right there, this expanse right here,
Yeah.
that from wall to wall, so you can see there's a mantle there as well. That's got to be
Oh,
6
yeah.
inches. So from I haven't measured, but I would imagine that's going to be 82 inches,
Yeah. I see no problem with this.
maybe 80 inches. And this is a 66-inch television, which means that there's going to be about that much on either side of that TV.
Yeah. That I don't see the
It's
issue.
the whole wall. The
I,
whole wall
I
is
don't
going
see
to
a
be
problem.
TV. I don't know how I feel about that, but I
Well,
also don't
when the
want to buy a new TV.
when the TV arrives, you can put it up to see how you like it, and if not, you can probably return it, right?
I mean, no, it's not new. It's Chris's old television. It's a
Oh,
free TV. That's the
no.
only reason why I'm
Well,
considering it.
then you could probably sell it, get some money, and then use that money to buy a smaller TV.
I'm not gonna sell a television. That's the other thing, is that I'm gonna have to pay somebody to bring it to my house. I'm gonna have to pay somebody to mount it to the wall.
Okay, see, that's also where I would disagree. I don't like wall-mounted TVs. I think wall-mounted TVs are dumb.
If I put it on the console, it's gonna take up the entire console. There's it yeah, no.
You get a TV stand
Right,
that's
the
like
TV
the
stand.
size of the area,
Right.
and then you put the TV on top of it. But
Right,
that way
no,
you
that's
have
true. But you
stuff
have to have a
underneath.
console. You have to have, like, a table, a low
Yes.
table for it. You can get that. I've already looked it up on Amazon. They're like $30, not a problem.
Yeah.
But the problem
Well, 30
is that
bucks
it's
isn't.
going to be the entire table is going to be taken up by television.
Yeah, because that's the point. It's a TV table. Like you're not getting a table, you're getting a TV stand. It's a piece of furniture designed to hold
It's
the
called a
TV on
console.
top
Yeah, it's
with
called a
like,
console.
drawers and cabinets and stuff on the bottom. Like
Mhm.
it, that's the purpose of it.
It's called a console or a media shelf, and
Yeah.
I don't wanna have a whole thing taken up by TV, and I don't
Mm.
know, maybe I should not be asking you. I should not be
We
asking
clearly
you.
have opposite
I should be
opinions.
asking Rachel about this. Rachel needs
Yes.
to weigh in because I kinda wanna have a room that's kinda pretty and not just TV all over the wall.
I mean, what is the TV? Do you know?
It is a Samsung
Okay.
75-inch QLED.
Because some of them have like, oh, you can kind of put the TV into sleep mode and it shows pictures on it. You can kind of
Yes, that's
have
what it
like,
does.
okay,
That's
yeah. So you it's not a TV, it's a painting. It's a painting until you want to play Kingdom Come.
Maybe I'll just use it, just get the stand, use it, and if I absolutely hate it and cannot stand it, then get rid of it. All right. Anyway, so
I mean, you're getting it for free anyways. Like
and right, I'm
that's
getting
good. Yeah.
that's the only reason I'm getting it for free. I don't want I really don't want a 75-inch television. I don't. But it's free. So, I also don't I like money more than I like aesthetics at this point. So I'm willing to
Mm.
deal. Yes, ask Rachel Bloom to remind you of the reference I made. Rachel Bloom? I still don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember. See, this is why we have you around, AC Wraith, to remember things for us. The more you know. So that's I have not played Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it's frustrating because I very, very much want to, but I can't. It sucks. So
Yes,
anyway,
it is still very good.
back to back.
Everything about it. I wish I played a little bit more Avowed after we talked about it like a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
I played a little bit more, but it's in the same way that playing Tales of Iron 2 was really hard after playing Ender Magnolias because they're so different.
Hmm.
Playing Avowed after playing KCD2 is hard because they're so different.
Right.
And it's whenever I'm playing Avowed, I'm just thinking this isn't a fantasy life simulator. Like all I can think about is what it's lacking and not what it's doing. And so I put that game aside, spend my time with KCD2, embrace it, and then once I'm done, I can go back to Avowed and kind of give it, with the with time, I can kind of give it more of my attention and kind of give it the respect it deserves. Because I've heard that the choices you make are really, really impactful in Avowed. And like I like the story. I want to
Hmm.
see what's going on there.
Right.
But I want to see what's going on in
KCD.
KCD2 more.
Because, it's because you're Forrest Gumping your way through it, you feel more like it's you. Like this would have been you in this situation, just bumbling your
Oh
way
shit.
through all this crap.
Is
Oh,
he
did
ooh,
you not notice that?
he got some dye on the table? Oh, but it was a Holy Trinity dye. I don't want a Holy Trinity dye. I got good dye.
Oh, I don't have yeah, I don't have any dice right now, so
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll say one of the reasons that like maybe my character is too strong. Every now
mhm,
and then, when the sun sets and my character's like pretty good with food, pretty good with energy, good with the health, I'll sleep for an hour until midnight, and then I'll just go on a little crime spree through the nearest town. And just and the thing is, I don't steal a whole lot. I'm just gonna I just want to
just enough.
practice my stealth. I want to
Right,
practice sneaking.
right.
I want to practice lock picking. Oh my
Mhm.
god, the lock picking mini game.
Oh, it was always hard.
No, the first time you try it, have it will feel impossible. It will feel like legitimately broken.
Mhm.
I've gotten so used to it now that I'm like, "Oh, I got this. I got this." Very hard locks, bring them on. I can do this. And it's interesting because it is a matter of leveling up your like lockpicking skill because that makes a lot of the aspects of lockpicking a little bit easier.
Mhm.
But it's also just getting used to the mechanics.
Right.
And I've done that enough that it's like, oh, I understand what I'm trying to do. I understand like the how these mechanics work, what I'm expected to do with the stick versus the triggers, and now it's just second nature.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just go around at night, uh, picking people's locks, picking their chests, and if I see, oh, you've got some groschen, oh, you've got a smoked sausage, I'll take that and feed it to my dog.
Mhm.
I'm not raiding anyone of house and home. I'm just, oh, you've got a savior schnapps. I'll take that.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
you've
Save your
you've
stuff,
got a dice. I'll take
absolutely.
that. You've got some smoked meat. I'll take that. But I'm
Mhm.
just every single house, every single chest, every single person as they sleep in the bed. I just walk up, pickpocket. And it doesn't matter what. I want to pickpocket something because I want the credit for it. So I'm just like, oh, piece of bread. Yeah. Oh, you've got an onion in your pocket? I'll take that. And I just crime spree through the entire town. And then I go to bed.
Now, do you ever get caught?
Um, Not usually. There was one time I almost got caught, but I have a perk for with Mutt, my dog.
Mhm.
that he will distract guards if they come up to me. And so I was in a house, and I guess a guard, I don't know if he heard something or what, but he was walking outside and Mutt started barking. And like, oh shit, they're right outside the door. What am I going to do? And I open the door and I see the guy with his back to me facing
Mhm.
Mutt, who's just barking up a storm. And so I just step out. I'm like 2 feet from him. And I just step to the side and bolt off. And yeah, Mutt saved me from getting caught.
Nice. Good old Mutt.
Yep. There was one point when I went into a town, and I think like I stole something from a bandit, and somehow he went and reported me to the cops.
Mhm.
This was early on in the game. Uh and I didn't have the money to pay, and I didn't want to lose everything, so I chose to go into the pillory, and yeah, had to do that for a whole day.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, but when you go into, I've been in the pillory once. Um, the real thing that hurts in there is that they take all of your stolen goods,
Mhm.
and that's what sucks because there's usually quite a lot of good goods there.
Yeah. And I would recommend, whenever you go to like a shop, like a blacksmith, tailor, whatever, buy the kit. Buy a cobbler's kit, a tailor's kit, a blacksmith kit, a marksman kit, and an armor kit.
Mhm.
And like stock up on those, because that means that you can basically repair your equipment when you're out in the world. But also, when you repair your equipment with those kits, you get crafting experience from it.
Right.
And so it's really useful every single time after a fight with some bandits on the road. Take out those kits, repair everything, get credit for crafting. And so, yeah, my crafting skill at this point is really, really high.
Mhm.
My stealth, though, is like, I'm a fucking ninja. When night comes, I just strip off all my clothes to become as quiet as possible. And I
You
just,
run around naked, just stealing everything from everybody?
in my boxers,
Oh,
because
okay.
you can't go completely naked. But yeah, just strip on down to my boxers and just pick the lock, pick your pocket. And yeah, that's the kind of stuff that makes the game real fun. And then, like I said, at the point where I am, it's like it's really open, where you have to like talk to a blacksmith or a miller to get invited to a wedding. And then once
Mhm.
you do that, it kind of opens up a little more as well as you start getting into the higher level politics of the region. And then that main quest climaxes with a really extended linear part where the game even says, hey, it's going to be a while before you're going to get access to the open world again. Like, stuff's story's going to happen and you're going to be like on this linear track for a good long time.
Mhm.
Just be prepared. If you have anything else you want to do that. But it also says, um all quests except for this one quest that's specifically tied to the Trotsky Castle will still be available afterwards. So basically saying, hey, go do that side quest. Everything else will be available afterwards. And it's just a nice bit of like player convenience and feedback. Even if it for a game that's so much about immersion and realism, it is nice that it kind of breaks all that to say,
Right.
hey, we're gonna like railroad you for a little bit. Some stuff, most stuff will still be accessible afterwards. This one quest won't. Maybe go do that quest now if you want to.
Mhm.
It's just nice usability, player forward thinking.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, where are you in the story at this point?
Um. Okay, so you haven't progressed. That means you're
Mm-mm.
still talking to the blacksmith.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm still early stage. I still don't have mutt yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
got
haven't really left the starting area at all.
I got mutts. I learned the Master Strike. Highly
Mhm.
recommend doing that. Find the nomad camp and find the dude there that will train you. He's really
Mhm.
useful. He explained the mechanics of combat in a way that was like legitimately useful. And after training with him, I was like, oh, I get the combat now. I understand it. Because otherwise, I think there's some unintuitive stuff to it. Uh, I got invited to the wedding. There was a wedding. We got into Trotsky Castle. We talked to the dude there,
Mhm.
and like from there, we kind of I don't want to spoil things, but like there's a whole bandit menace, and like we agreed to help deal with the bandit menace, and then things took twists from there. Um, and yeah, so I'm done a lot.
Yeah. So you've definitely well on your way to being awesome. I really want to play it. I really wish. I have not played the only thing that I have played recently. It's because last night Chris and the girl child are in Davis, which is about 2 hours away from here,
Okay.
at a um, volleyball tournament, and she needed to report to the tournament at 7 o'clock. Last night was daylight saving,
Oh yes.
spring fall back or spring forward. So she had to be arriving the equivalent of 6 a.m., which means that she had to wake up at the equivalent of 5 a.m.
Jesus.
So they spent the night in a hotel in Davis.
That makes sense.
So I had them last night to myself, and I'm like, "Ooh, what do I want to do?" And I'm like, "Can you come to Deliverance?" Yeah, but I was working on the computer. I was sitting here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm really craving is Crusader Kings.
Hmm.
I was really craving a game of Crusader Kings. So I went on to Steam to download Crusader Kings. That's a very long download. So while I
Mm.
was doing that, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let it download and I'll play some Dice and Fold. So I ended up playing Dice and Fold all night. God, that is such a good game. This is a game that Goalie told us we should try. And he's absolutely right. It is such a fun game. It's a fun strategy game, and it's so simple, and yet it is very, very complex. And in a way, it becomes like a campaign because you're slowly trying to progress through all of your different heroes up the ladder.
Okay, AC Wraith has a correction. I like TVs that give UTIs.
Oh, UTIs.
And
Oh,
then he linked to Crazy Ex-Girlfriend Smashing Butterflies.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh.
So what's the
Uh
reference?
he's
Explain
been
the
he's
reference.
been on a roller coaster of a character from smug and condescending to delusional and pitiable and to genuinely decent and kind. Greg is, as all Gregs tend to be, a rich dish. Unfortunately, there's a stray piece of smug Greg in the mix, and its pungent flavor overwhelms everything else in a little James Brown style ditty entitled I Gave You a UTI. Yes, he gloats in sung verse about giving Rebecca a urinary tract infection as if it's the biggest accomplishment of his life.
I don't understand it's how this relates to TV to TVs, but
I
okay.
don't get that, but yeah. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, I've seen enough of the songs that like I would probably really like that show.
He says it's not like I think it's interesting explaining the joke. No. All right. So if you got it, you got it. Unfortunately, neither one of us got it.
I'm so good at sex. Your maiden ship got wrecked. My penis is the reason you may die.
Jesus. All right. So going back to Dyson Fold, thank you very much. Can we get a link for that instead of
I mean,
TI?
speaking of like UTIs, my Henry is a pretty good ladies man. He's been
Oh, is he?
sleeping around.
All right. To remind you of what
Yes,
Dyson
Dyson
Fold
Fold.
is, there is a Steam game, very easy concept. It's like poker in that takes a moment to explain and a lifetime to perfect. You essentially, each round, you are presented with enemies who have either exact dice rolls or total amount of like points you got to put on that spot to make them go away, to what they call fold them. Each round you roll amount of dice. Each stage you are given one more dice. Or sure, you were given one more die. The whole point is to make it to the boss without dying. You have a certain amount of health. At the end of every turn, you start each turn rolling dice. And then you place the dice either on the enemy, or if it's a red die, it can heal you, so you can heal yourself from a die, or heal your companion if it's a red die, or you can put it aside in your dice pool, which are just kind of held to the side in case you need them. Also, you can buy in the process items that help you along, that give you perks, like it will raise your health by 10, or every time a 6 is rolled, you gain 2 gold coins. You buy those along the way. You can also, at certain points, be given an option to switch out your companion. You start with no companion. You can switch out to a different companion. Each companion has a perk, and each hero has a perk. And each hero has his own set of little dice rolls that you need to complete. And if you need to complete those, then you can use that skill. And that skill might be you complete one dice slot, of your choosing on an enemy, which can be really good because sometimes you get enemies that their dice slots are like 23, which means, and they hit like a truck. So if you can complete that, like right off the bat, you don't have, because there's no way you can roll 23 with only 3 dice. Let's say, for example, that's like a huge thing that you can knock that person off in the first round so that they never lay a hand on you. It is very much, where do I use this die? Do I use it to heal me if I can, or if not? Do I use it for my skill? Do I use it to possibly to put it on an enemy to retire that enemy? What do how do I use each of these dice in a strategic way that gives me the greatest benefit and does the most damage to the enemy? It is a hell of a lot of fun. Every time that you win, you start with I believe a Jack is the first hero character you're given. If you complete with a Jack, you can get I forget what the next one is, the Queen. If you complete the Queen, you get a King. Then you get a Warrior. You get all of these different characters, but you've got to complete each one to get to the next type of character. Every character is stronger or has a different skill. And it's about rolling dice, obviously, the luck of that, but also creatively and very strategically using your dice to the greatest advantage for your skill and to essentially get through as much as you possibly can and all the way to hopefully to the end boss alive. It's a fun game. It eats up time. It goes fast, and yet it swallows time rapidly. Like last night, I'm like, just play a couple of games, and then I look down and it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, holy shit, that was fast. It keeps you very much engaged, mostly because of the strategy involved. So anyway, Dyson Fold, once again, fantastic little game that Gully, I thought it was interesting the first time I played it, but now that I've been playing, like I had a whole evening playing it, it's great. And it's, I believe, super cheap, but well worth the price. Hey, we got Pissed in the room. How you doing, Pissed?
Hey,
Yeah, there's the video that got me into the game. Fantastic. Go do it.
yeah, it's like the perfect pace where it's like you got to think a little bit and then you go on to the next thing. And you think a little bit and go on to the next thing. And it's just long enough to stay engaging, but
Mhm.
fast enough that, you're always moving on to the next thing.
Right. And when the enemies hit, they don't always hit you. Sometimes they hit your companion. And you can get little um items that if your companion gets hit, you heal too. So just it's
Mm,
it's a combination of luck, it's a combination of skill, combination of strategy. It's just a great time waster, and at the same time, it makes your life. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it. So yeah, go pick up that game especially if you're waiting for a long download. This is a really good game for a long download.
I wonder if that's on the phone.
It very easily could be a phone game. If it's a phone game, that would be actually really bad because it is so freaking addictive. So freaking addictive.
It's not. But there's got to be something similar.
Mhm. It is absolutely fantastic. Um,
Hmm. I'll have to find this later.
okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's your gaming.
that's my gaming. That's all I did, but it's well worth it. Well worth it if you have a chance to get it. He says, I feel like that guy in the workplace who expressed too much enthusiasm retelling the Seinfeld Dolores theme. Yeah, pretty much. They tend to just link to Steam. That's why he linked the. Oh, is that what we're calling it now? The Twix page. I
Oh,
like that. I like that.
okay.
Yeah. So that's my gaming. Did you? I mean, I didn't want to take your Steam, so to speak, but
Take
steam
my
out of your
Steam.
steam out of your engine. But is that all the games that you played? Just Kingdom
Oh
Come?
yeah, Kingdom Come. That's
Okay.
it.
All right.
No, I didn't play anything else. I did start watching Severance
I want to see
because
Severance.
everyone's going gaga over
Everyone
it.
says it's so good, and it definitely looks like a kind of game, a kind of show that I would really like.
The first 2 episodes are pretty good.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We watched a series called Devs.
Oh, I've really wanted to see that. That is from Alex Garland, who did like 28 Days Later, Annihilation, Civil War.
It's a mind fuck. It's definitely
Yeah,
a mind fuck.
he does those type of things, and
Mhm.
I keep meaning to see it, but I keep forgetting about it and going on to other shows.
It's very, very good. But yeah, it's a big old mind fuck. It's one of those movies that it's a time, I mean, I don't want to say time shift, but it's about reality shifting. And it's like at the end of each episode, like you go out to walk the dogs and it's like, am I here? Or, like that moment.
It's like,
Yeah.
what?
It messes with your head a little bit. It's like, is this real? Is this real life? So yeah, it's worth it.
You know what?
Watch it.
What me and Rachel started watching
Mm-hmm.
that is better than I thought it would be, and is way more intense than you think it would be,
Mm-hmm.
is The Morning Show on Apple. The show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon about them being morning co-host anchors.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone on for like 3 seasons. It's
That
renewed
sounds
up
like
to 5.
absolutely up my alley. I love Like Sports Night, I loved. What was the one that Alan Sorkin did about news?
Oh, the newsroom.
Newsroom. Oh, loved
This okay.
Newsroom.
This is very similar. There's a lot of walk and talk in the morning
I
show.
love the Walk a Dog. I really like the Walk a Dog.
But like as I'm watching this, I'm actually going, wait a minute. That's a Ned Stark. Oh, that's a Littlefinger.
Oh.
Oh, she's a Cersei.
It's a
A-
it's Game of Thrones, but done in very
I'm watching because like all of these characters, the premise is that it's a morning show with these two co-hosts who have been doing it for like 15 years.
Mhm.
One of them gets accused of, sleeping with a bunch of people as part of the Me Too movement because this came out back when the Me Too movement was a thing and, sexual predators were not presidents.
Mhm.
And so he gets kicked off the show. He gets fired.
Mhm.
And so all of a sudden, like the morning show is in this chaos of like, shit, we just lost one of our co-hosts. What do we do?
Mhm.
And it's Jennifer Aniston as the other host, like trying to navigate this while these executives try to like, oh, we were gonna get rid of her, but now we can't. Shit, what do we do? So she's angling to like secure her future. Other executives are like angling to like screw her over. And then you've got like Reese Witherspoon kind of caught in the middle, but then coming up into her own. And then like all these other side characters they all have secrets. They all have different things that they're angling for. And it's every character has their own plot and their own scheme. And
Mhm.
everyone is scheming against everyone, but until they ally with each other and then they betray each other, then they ally with each other again. It's like, holy shit, this is really addictive and compelling and
Mhm.
intense. Like, I can't stress enough how much the show is like when an episode ends, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I thought it was just gonna be like a fun, zippy show about like these morning co-hosts. I'm like,
You were thinking it was
no.
gonna be more what was that one about the newscaster with, Christina Applegate and, well, that escalated quickly. The guy that would read anything, the
Oh,
teleprompter.
Anchorman.
Anchorman. You were thinking like it was gonna be Anchorman, and
Like a
it
little
ended
more
up being
grounded than Anchorman, but
and it
yeah,
ended up
it's
being Game of Thrones.
yeah. Which like I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. It's just completely not what I was expecting. And so, yeah, I gotta say, the morning show, way more intense than you would expect, but really, really compelling.
So you mentioned Game of Thrones, and that reminded me of something else that I did this week that I need
Oh,
to talk about. We need to talk about the movie Into the Lost Land.
okay.
It is based on a George R. Martin short story. Um,
Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who is
starring
famous or infamous for making all of the Resident Evil movies.
mhm, starring his wife Mila Jovovich.
Has do
Uh,
all of the Resident Evil movies.
Multipass, right? But she's got some nerd cred.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um, I
And
this
Dave Batista.
and Dave Batista, also nerd cred. This is why one, you should never see a movie that is based on a short story from a very, very good novelist. And two, why you should absolutely never see a movie, a science fiction fantasy movie about that's made by people that don't do science fiction fantasy. It was short. Like it was an hour and a half.
Okay, yeah.
It
I like
is
that.
so rushed. Absolutely the entire time. It's like, well, I mean, I know that you're doing this, but this makes no sense why you're doing this. Like you've you missed about like at least a good 10 minutes of character and relationship development before you start hugging this guy. You just go from like, I've hired you to now I'm hugging you. It's like, anyway, it it's one of those movies that starts with world building by telling you what the world is. Just that's always a bad sign. That's always a bad sign. But it's got some good effects, but please do not see it. It is so bad. This is definitely rent it. Do not
I
pay
feel
to see it
like
in theater.
everything I've heard is like it's a Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Yeah.
And you have to know who he is and understand what that means, that
Mhm.
you are watching a like hardcore B movie. Like
Hardcore B movie is a good way to put it.
that he
The
that's what he specializes in.
Girl Child called it Megalopolis, but shorter and with a story.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of fun movies. I respect the Resident Evil movies. They are dumb fun. He did a Monster Hunter movie that I've wanted to
Did
see.
he really?
He did. With, can you guess who it stars?
Mila Jovovich.
He did a Three Musketeers movie with
Mila Jovovich.
what else did he do? He did Event Horizon, which is
Mhm.
like a B movie classic.
Yeah, so bottom line, don't see it, rent it. I mean, if you do need to, don't even rent it when it's like full price rental. Wait like 6 months to a year.
Just wait for it to come on
So it's
streaming.
like right, when either free or I would not spend more than $2.99 to rent it if you absolute must see it. It's just
Ooh, Monster
really
Hunter
not
is free on Hulu.
ooh,
Well, maybe we should
really?
watch that.
Hardcore B movie. That's kind of like us. We're a hardcore B podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that being said,
Pompeii, that's what else he did.
oh God, that
Pompeii, Death
that
Race.
gigantic
Oh,
turd.
Alien vs. Predator. He did the first
Oh,
Alien vs. Predator.
really? That actually wasn't a bad movie.
And that one was. The second one was worse. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, no, did he do? No, he didn't do Pandorum. Why does he have a credit for Pandorum?
I don't know.
Pandorum
Anyway,
is if you want like a sci-fi action movie that's gone under the radar, Pandorum fucking rocks.
Pandorum, Pan.
Pandorum is
Okay.
like, oh shit. You watch it, you're like, oh, this is intense. Oh my god. And then by the end of it, you're like, how is this not a cult classic? How are more people not talking about this?
Okay. That's now officially on the list of movies that I will be seeing. Pandorum.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyways, I guess we could get into news. Like we talked about movie and TV now.
Yes. Edie just said not to watch most
Oh.
Stephen King movies. In fact, I will say what Into the Lost Lands reminded me of very much was Children of the Corn,
Mm,
which is not a good movie. Not a good movie at all. But it was based on a short story by Stephen King. Some of his short stories aren't bad. But Children of the Corn, you walked out and you're like, that just felt like somebody half-assed a Stephen King film. And then you read the short story and you realize, oh, because there's nothing to this short story. This short story was barely a story. And then you filled it all in. The only thing that it had similar to the short story was a cornfield and a guy named Malachi, and that was it. There is no story in the short story.
the only
Other than
similarity was kids
it's
and
just
corn.
the whole short story was a scene, and then they just
Hey.
built this whole movie around this thing that happened, and even that was not right. I am interested in reading that short story by Martin,
No.
by
Yeah.
George.
I've heard that it's
And I figure it's going to be the same thing. Is that it's
I've
not much.
no, I've heard that it's really good.
I've heard it's good, but it
But it's
doesn't have
also very different than what the movie is.
right,
It's
very
much more somber and darker
right.
than
It's
the
it's
movie.
probably very vague about certain things that they had to fill in the blanks for, but they didn't have enough budget to fill in the blanks for it.
Mm,
So that's what it felt like. So yeah, that's things. That's what I would absolutely Pandorum. Okay. I will definitely be watching that. Now, can we talk about the news, please? Can we? I've literally had the news music queued up for the last.
what else have I been watching?
This is GameHound News, the news, music commentary for the week in gaming with gamer Edie, Nick D. Nicola, and our first item is
Uh, if you want something lighthearted and fun,
no.
I did see Delicious
Stop.
in Dungeon. I
Stop.
watched all of that on Netflix.
Stop.
That is a genuinely fun,
Yes.
heartwarming show.
Yes, it is. Stop. All right. So first item is I will take it over. Let me get to my news banners. All right. So the big thing that happened last week that I really wanted to talk about, but then we canceled the show. Warner Brothers. What happened with Warner Brothers? They did a bad thing. So Warner Brothers, it was first off, it was rumored and by Jason Schreier, who kind of made the announcement that he had leaked information that Wonder Woman was canceled, Monolith Studios is shut down, and and Warner Brothers is essentially shutting down a lot of its
Yeah, it
games.
wasn't just Monolith. It was like 2 other studios too.
It was Monolith and what were the other two? Player First Games and the Warner Brothers Games San Diego studio. So they shut down 3, but Monolith being the big name.
Yeah.
It was later confirmed by Warner Brothers that they had indeed done that, and they're talking heads because essentially Warner Brothers is run by a bunch of people in suits. They have decided that they are no longer, especially because of the whole anti-DEI thing, anything that's being helmed by female characters now, most companies, whether it be like, for example, the National Archives is taking down photos of Black service pilots or Black servicemen who served in World War II, or female pilots of World War II off of their online presence of the photos that they have in the National Archives. They're actually removing those from the website. So they're getting rid of anything with a woman in it, getting rid of anything with a Black man in it, making it go away. In this case, they have canceled Wonder Woman, for which a lot of people were actually looking forward to. But they've decided that according to their suits, that they will focus on, quote, well, first off, their public announcement was, we have had to make some very difficult decisions to structure our department studios and investments around building the best games possible with our key franchises, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, DC, and Game of Thrones. So that's all they want to do from now on.
There's something about that though. Think about those 4 franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones hasn't had like a big hit since season 8. House of the Dragon it's a good show and it's
Mhm.
doing fine. It's like it does
Mhm.
good numbers, but it doesn't set the world on fire.
Right.
Game of Thrones
Game
is
of Thrones hasn't had a video game either.
Oh no, it has.
It
It
has?
has had several video
Oh,
games,
but none of them.
which should tell you something that you don't even
The
know.
only thing I know is about the mobile games. Yeah, exactly.
Also, the Game of Thrones RPG that came out on the 360, surprisingly decent.
Really?
Like not great, but also pretty good.
Mhm.
But like no one gave a shit about it. That it's like Lord of the Rings. You had the TV show, it was a massive hit. You had the Lord of the Rings movies, massive hit. No one cares about anything beyond those. Like, oh, we're gonna monetize these franchises. No, you're not. You're gonna sink money into these projects, and they're all gonna flop.
Right.
because no one cares about Game of
essentially make
Thrones.
everybody hate and end up hating Game of Thrones.
Harry Potter, like you did that game. That game did really well. Make another one of those games. Make another single player game because every other Harry Potter game
They don't want single player games.
didn't
Guess what
do
they
it.
want to do? Live service.
But like you had the Fantastic Beasts, a 5-movie series that ended after 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like people love the books, they love the movies. You kind of milked it as much as you can. There's
You
not
have
much more to it.
squeezed everything out, squeezed all the juice out of that orange. It cannot give you any more, no matter how hard you squeeze it.
Mortal Kombat, to be fair, does well, still going strong, but also like it does well for a fighting video game. It's not
Which
going
is
to do Game of
by
Thrones
no
numbers.
means
It's
a
not going to do Harry
glory
Potter
gamers.
numbers.
Yeah.
And then DC, who the fuck knows? Well, let's wait until
They,
Superman comes out, and
they
then we
killed
can
Wonder
decide
Woman.
where to
They
go.
killed Wonder Woman in the process
Well,
because
and then I remember reading like
woman.
that studio was so mismanaged
Yeah.
that like they started on a Flash game and then canceled it when the movie flopped. They started on like a another game and then it turned into Gotham Knights, but then that flopped. Like they kept trying to pitch something to those guys, to the studio. Developers kept pitching ideas, getting them greenlit, and then having those projects canceled a year later.
Right.
Just like
Right.
continually not knowing what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Or chasing a trend. They
yeah,
chase
all chasing
trends
trends.
and
Yeah.
the trends within their company. Oh, this is successful. We're going to do another one. Oh, this is successful. We're going to do this. This is successful. We're going to launch a commemorative plate line. You know, just whatever we need to do to, if you like it, we're just going to give you so much of it in so many different ways that you end up not liking it.
Yeah. And they're left with these IPs that they want to exploit, but like those IPs have already been exploited. There's not much more you can do with them.
Right. So, going on, he said, after careful consideration, we are closing 3 of our development studios: Monolith, Player First Games, Warner Brothers Games, San Diego. This is a strategic change in direction and not a reflection of these teams or the talent that consists within them. Polygon got its hand on an internal memo that was sent out to people. Internally, the CEO and president of Global Streaming Games, JB Perrett, never trust anybody named JB. JB, do you want to fire these people? JB. He wrote, quote, that they want to focus on, quote, fewer but bigger franchises going forward, and that they want to regain the credibility and swagger at producing great games. Here's the actual quote. Quote, getting our swagger back happens one high quality game release at a time, and our financial credibility gets rebuilt one fiscal quarter at a time, delivering what we said we could deliver and no big negative surprises.
No big negative surprises.
Because, you know, big games, AAA games based on, you know, existing franchises that you own never fail.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness for Marvel Avengers. What a great success that was.
The AAA gaming space is the safe space right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
and also like when they talk about, oh, we want to rebuild, like, okay, let's assume that because the guy who was in charge of WB Games got fired or left, and a new guy is in charge. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He wants to make good games. Like, okay, that's what Microsoft said too. That's what Phil Spencer said like 5 years ago. And you know what? Now they've got Doom coming out. They've got that Louisiana action game coming out. South of Midnight.
South of Midnight, right?
Like they've got games coming out this year. That took 5 years. 6 years. That took almost an entire console generation. I guarantee you, whoever is in charge of the new
It's not going to
his
wait
boss's
5
boss,
years for a great
yes,
game.
they don't want to wait that long.
They want to wait. They want a great game next year, which
If
means that they're not going to be able to deliver a great
yeah,
game in 1 year.
if this dude,
Especially when they've fired 3 studios, when they have just scuttled anybody who knows how to do anything in the
yeah,
company.
like even if this dude has the best intentions in mind,
Mhm.
the structure around him sets him up to fail.
Right.
He will not have enough time to succeed.
No, no. But one of the things he did succeed, and of course that's what it says in the if you are watching live and it's not on the not the podcast after the fact, you will see it in the title. One of the things that Warner Brothers did very successfully is shortly before they shuttered all those studios and pretty much scuttled any chance that they'd be making anything good for quite some time. They patented the Nemesis system. So now the Nemesis system is locked for anyone who wants to use it because they're not making any games with the Nemesis system. Wonder Woman apparently was supposed to be using that
Yeah,
system, which is something that I was looking forward to because that's a great system.
yeah,
That
it's
is
really
one of the
cool.
best systems in decades, like innovative and fun and just so great. And now it's locked away until at a minimum 2031. So maybe I'll still, be alive to play another Nemesis system game, which just sucks.
Yeah, AC Wraith.
It's been locked
They
for ages, right? But now
yeah they patented it for a while. I think they renewed it
they
before
renewed the
they
patent. They renewed the patent. My
knocked
bad.
it down.
They renewed the patent so that
But
even though
yeah,
they're not making any games with it, they've renewed the patent so nobody else can make any games with using it.
which is really really frustrating when you think about the explosion of roguelite games and how the Nemesis system was essentially a proto roguelike. Like you could do something really cool with that.
Mhm. There's so many things you could do cool with it. But this is why you don't let movie guys run game studios. They don't understand. Everybody thinks just games are just a movie that you interact with. It's like, no, no, games are different.
And
So
this is
anyway, that
also
was the big news from last week,
yeah,
and it was heartbreaking to
well,
hear, especially
I,
Monolith. Monolith is a
yeah,
great
Marvel's been
studio.
around forever.
Forever. That's a lot of people who lost their jobs. We don't know. They don't have any actual numbers because, of course, I'm sure some of them were taken on in different
Mm,
areas of Warner Brothers games. So it's hard to know who lost their job and who didn't and what the actual numbers are, but it's a lot.
yeah, and yeah, you're talking about how they're not going to make a good game for a long time. Uh, with the new DC universe, James Gunn has said, "Oh, everything is connected. That includes video games." That is like setting up video games to fail.
Exactly. People don't understand that they're separate. They're
Yeah.
different.
Look, let the game be different. The Batman, like not James Patterson, Robert Pattinson?
Robert
Patt-
Pattinson.
yeah.
By the way, I heard
I,
Mickey 17 is fantastic.
I'm gonna go see that Tuesday.
I wanted to see it yesterday, but instead I was forced because somebody decided that it was more of an Edie movie. Was forced to go see Into the Lost Lands.
um, I completely forget what I was saying.
Anyway, we were talking about
Oh yeah, the Batman. The
Batman.
Batman is allowed to be its own separate universe.
Mhm.
So why not just make a good game? Sony isn't forcing Spider-Man games to be connected to Kraven the Hunter. Thank
No.
God for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we can at least give them some
What
credit
works
for
in
that.
movies doesn't work in video games. Bottom line, what works in movies doesn't work in video games. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
That's why some of the worst video games are based on movies, and some of the worst movies are based on video games. They're different, and treat them differently. Do not make them the same. They're not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving right along. Next item.
Well, let's say, speaking of companies going to hell, rumor is that Discord is exploring
Yeah.
IPO.
They've been talking about an IPO for a while.
And
Discord is going to get infinitely worse very,
they've
very soon.
specifically been talking with some banks to, you know, determine how to go about it and what they could IPO at. And as soon as that broke, every website had the same thing of like, well, Discord's gone.
Yep, that's the end of Discord.
This is the end of Discord. Prepare for it to get worse.
Yep, exactly.
Which,
And it will get worse.
oh yeah, absolutely, it will.
But I will buy the stock because they're going to monetize the shit out of that now. Discord is going absolutely everything is going to require a subscription beyond just talking to each other.
Buy it and then sell it in a day because you don't want to be stuck with that. You don't want to be stuck with Ubisoft.
Well, no, because IPOs are a little different. Ubisoft wasn't an IPO.
Okay.
I bought Reddit day of.
Oh,
and
okay.
just fine. Thank you very much. Was much more
Okay,
fine a week
okay.
ago. Was up 500% a week ago. Now I'm up 200%.
Oh, that's a big drop.
I mean, I don't want to talk too much about my retirement or my 401k, but let's just say my 401k, I sold my Tesla 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
When Elon started to go nuts, I'm like, I can't do this. And I sold
that
my Tesla.
generally Nazi salutes, sell the stock.
The next morning after the Nazi salute, I realized, well, for one, I didn't want to be an owner of the Tesla stock anymore. And two, this is going to hurt the stock. And I sold it after the Nazi salute.
That
So
was a good
that was
timing.
that was one of the best sales I've ever made. I sold it at the top.
Nice.
That being said, my 401k, I am now 58 years old. My 401k, my rollover 401k, that's the 401k that is all the 401ks that I have had in my life in one account, is now 50% of what it was 2 weeks ago. I've
Ooh.
lost 50% of my retirement. Now, will it go back up? Probably.
Yeah.
Will it do it before I need to actually use it, before I actually retire? Is this playing into my decision of what age I'm going to be when I retire? Yes. Yes, it will.
I mean, at least you hang on to that Ubisoft stock. If they sell,
no,
like Tencent.
Ubisoft stock.
Oh, okay, it's gone.
Long
Since
gone.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no. Long gone. Anyway, yeah.
It's sad, and like the fact that everyone just says, well, Discord's gone now. Discord's going to get worse. I would hope that in some way discourages them from doing this because
Right.
as soon as this news came out, everyone was like,
no,
it was overwhelmingly negative towards the news.
Yes. This is not going to change anything. Discord is they've been talking about going in for an IPO for the last 5 years. This doesn't come as a surprise. I've heard about the IPO for a very long time. Like literally for 5 years. I remember looking into like, ooh, they're talking about possibly Discord going for an IPO. They actually put it out and then they pulled it back 5 years ago. So, this is not a surprise. And they don't care because the people that are making the decision, essentially every single person that works for Discord right now wants it to go public because that's how they're gonna get rich.
Yeah, that's true.
They all have stock.
Yeah, Pist says it's already worse. The mobile app has been getting worse in quality for a while.
Right. And I cannot think of a single case where the product of a company, any company, was improved after the IPO. after they went public. The most successful companies in the world are private, and for a reason. Instantly, it gets bad.
Yeah. Respect to Epic.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it's a
Disappointing.
shame, but it's going to start sucking. That being said, from an investor point of view, what else is there to replace it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing.
It's
There's nothing even close.
like it's gotten into all the consoles. Like it has become kind of this staple of a lot of internet communication.
Mhm. It's a staple of Steam. It's a staple of all internet communication,
Mhm.
not just consoles. I mean, that's kind of like one of the things they're talking about is that it is a bit of a societal risk because bad actors are using Discord to communicate with each other
Hmm.
because it's easy to communicate internationally.
Yeah, you can just create a Discord room, send an
Discord
invite to
channel,
someone.
Discord channel, just or
Yeah.
talk, individually, just have a phone call with each other. Yeah, there is no other. Oh, that and something I forgot until just now. That was announced 2 days ago, I think. Microsoft's shutting down Skype.
Oh yeah.
Skype, the thing that they bought and wrecked because they
Yeah.
were going to use it for the 360 as a communication tool for the 360. So the closest thing you could possibly have was Skype,
Yeah.
and
now
it's
that's
now gone. So the only thing that's there now really is Discord until somebody else creates another one. But I'm sure that Discord will have has patented absolutely everything. So yeah, Discord is about to very much suck. And but it's a great investment because there's nothing else.
We can at least benefit from the sucking.
We're all going to be using it. We're just going to be complaining about it while we use it, which doesn't make any difference because we're still going to be using it because we have no other choice.
Yeah.
That's like saying,
The
I
enshittification.
hate the price of PG&E. It's been raising our electric and our gas prices, and I can't do this. It's awful. You're still going to be paying for electricity. You're still going to be paying for gas because there's no other option. When you're the only game in town, that's called having a monopoly.
Yeah.
So until somebody else comes up with an entirely new way to do exactly what Discord is doing right now, we're going to be all using Discord and it's going to suck. It sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, my next item is speaking of companies sucking.
It's almost like this is a common theme.
Yeah, this is the theme for today.
This is a theme every week.
Yeah, Sony has sacked pretty much everybody in the Sony visual arts studio. Where is it? This is according to Kotaku. They are claiming that PlayStation Studios Visual Arts, PlayStation Studios Video, PSVA, that was a division of PlayStation, was PlayStation Studios Visual Arts. They were based in San Diego. They were informed earlier this week that their last day working for Sony would be March 7th. So, Friday. This was because a former PSVA project manager and current Riot Games senior lead producer Abby Lamaster put out on LinkedIn, quote, "It was tough to waking up to messages to many friends and former coworkers from PSVA were laid off this morning. The layoffs today hit hard. PSVA let go of developers with decades of subject matter experience, talent that will be extraordinarily difficult to recoup. This industry can be unpredictable, but the skill, experience, and passion of the people I worked with at PSVA are undeniable." So, PSVA, by the way, to give you an idea of what they worked on Naughty Dog, worked with Naughty Dog on its Last of Us Parts 1 and 2 remasters.
Mm.
They, in general, provide support for for Sony's first-person studios. They don't make anything themselves, but they support a lot
Yeah.
of games that Sony makes.
One of the unsung heroes of the industry. One of the many
Mhm.
support studios that work on a game,
Right.
like many games that
It's
you
like
never heard of.
yeah, it's like if PlayStation was a car, they just fired the tires. You know, like, they're not the engine and they're not the cab, the stuff that you notice.
Yeah, they're not the flashy
They're
parts.
not the flashy parts. They fired the one thing that is ubiquitous for all of your cars. You may have many, many, many different cars, but you know what they all have in common? Wheels, tires. You just fired all the tires. So now all of their studios, their first-person studios, are going to be directly affected by the firings at this visual arts studio in San Diego. This is reverberations that will be felt entirely across their whole line of first-person studios because they were the support for the first-person studios.
Yeah.
I can't think. I mean, there has to be a reason for this because that makes no sense. This is not just closing a studio. This is like firing people that work for all your studios, and they're the only ones that do it. So I don't know. That's just it's really, really, really sad. So this is the second round of layoffs at the visual arts, the PSVA. In the last 2
Mm,
years, they did another wave that
that's
impacted,
rough.
and we still don't know how many people were fired in that back in 2023. So they were already short-staffed, and then now they're even shorter. IGN has reached out to PSVA and to Sony about finding out how many people lost their jobs. What's the story? Of course, Sony's not talking. They don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But this is also in 2025, the second round of layoffs that PlayStation has had. They did an unspecified number of staff from its software division.
They don't even say what developers.
They just said
Mm.
software division staff. Sony doesn't really have a lot of software, but games.
Yeah, maybe they're talking about the software in their TVs,
Possibly,
the software in their cameras.
maybe.
I
But
don't know.
really, the only software that Sony makes is games. So, yeah. I mean, I get it that it's everybody's hurting right now, and what's worse is that the hurt is gonna get worse, a lot worse before it gets any better. And it's given what's happening in the world, it's going to take literally years, if not decades, to recover from what's going on right now, economically, world economically. So I get that this is a good time to start trimming down and get ready for hunkering down and survival mode because you might have to. Some of these companies may have to go into survival mode. There's going to be a lot less disposable income this summer for games.
Oh, that reminded me of. I didn't have a news item.
Certainly
I think it
$100
was
games like GTA.
Okay. It's not going to be $100 unless there's tariffs as an excuse.
Oh
But
yeah.
here's
By
the
the way,
thing.
here's another thing. Tariffs. You know what's going to be affected by tariffs?
Consoles, soda.
25% tariffs on steel and
Oh, aluminum.
aluminum.
Uh,
Already small like beer companies, like small brewing companies that put out stuff in cans,
mhm.
they're already stocking up right now because that is going to get very much more expensive.
Mm.
They don't know how expensive at this point, and they don't know how much they will be able to weather before passing it on to consumer. But I can guarantee you, cost of soda is going up. You're not going to be getting two for two at Safeway anymore.
Yeah, sucks for Nintendo because they're putting out a console this year. For Microsoft and Sony, they can just would delay things. Good timing on Sony releasing the PS Pro last year.
Yeah,
That really worked out well in
By the way,
retrospect.
great timing for Edie to get an apartment.
Mm.
When now I don't have a 401k to have anymore.
Yeah, you've got income.
Yeah, but I still got to work for it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
something to be. Oh, y'all, have I mentioned that we are Patreon funded? Help a girl out. $1 a month is all we ask. No, I'm sorry. Tariffs. $1.25 is all we ask. Patreon.com/GameHounds, please.
That's right. Got to compensate for inflation. Let's say $2.25.
Mama's got to pay rent. Anyway, so yes, yeah, great time to be getting an apartment, huh?
Yeah.
And taking on six figures of debt for the first time in your life.
Wait, geez, what, 6 figures? Why?
That's how much it costs to do a bathroom and stairs.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the house and the rats and the bats and the sandworms and everything.
Right. I already had, I already had financed half of the cost of the Tesla.
Mm.
And now it's another 6 figures to do the house.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, AC Wraith said, sucks for everyone without hardware to support Windows 11. Has Windows 10 support expires in October? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, yes. That's
I thought Microsoft typically supported old Windows versions for like decades.
I know they've because you know why? Because nobody's moving over to Windows 11. They're forcing people now. Like they're like, okay, now clearly you're not moving over, so we're going to make you move. I now have Windows 11 on my computer.
Yeah.
First off, fuck. What the fuck were they thinking?
Is this a new Windows 8? Is 11 the new 8?
We have in our company Microsoft 365 account, right?
Okay.
We have Office 365. It gives us everything in Office. In the past, if I wanted to sign into my Microsoft account, I would sign in with my Office username and password, right?
Yeah.
Windows 11 won't let you sign in with anything but an Outlook.com account.
What?
So my computer is signed in on an Outlook.com. My Office is signed in on an entirely different Office profile. And now they're fighting with each other because they think that I'm stealing one or the other. And this is my work.
That's pretty dumb.
It's infuriating. I can't back up. I cannot back up to OneDrive all of my files because I'm signed in on OneDrive on my Outlook profile. I am signed into my Office account and on my Office profile. So I try to save to the Office and they're like, you don't have Outlook or you don't have a Microsoft account. You need to sign up for a Microsoft account. Anyway.
I mean, I feel like I
didn't have that problem with 10, let's just say.
I feel like it says a lot that I didn't know there was a Windows 11.
Really? It's been out for years.
I just Googled it and it came out October 5th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But which coincidentally might be when I bought this gaming laptop that I'm using now.
Is it Windows 11 or Windows 10?
Windows 10.
Keep it on 10 for as long as you can.
I bought it, but I'm someone that keeps pretty up to date on tech
Mhm.
news. When Windows 11 came out, I didn't see anyone talking about it.
'Cause it
Even
was
now, I
awful.
see no one talking about it. Like it just,
Awful.
and
Right.
I remember Windows 10. One of the things that made it really popular is that it was a free upgrade, right? You could upgrade for free from like 8 or 9 to 10 because everyone hated 8. And it was like, oh, hey, this operating system actually works pretty well. And then, yeah, 11 just kind of seems like no one gives a shit about it
Okay, so one of the things that got upgraded and changed is Outlook. There's new Outlook and there's old Outlook.
because
And there's
everyone
actually
uses
a toggle
Outlook.
switch on it. It forces you when it go into Outlook and it toggles. It says up at the top and it says you can literally talk it and goes go back to old Outlook. And I constantly, whenever I go in, it opens it new and I
Oh,
move it to
God,
old.
that's annoying.
And every single time I do that, I get a little pop-up like, "Are you really sure you wanna do that?" It's like, "Yes." "Oh, well, we are interested in your feedback. Why are you doing this?" Every single time, I take a few moments to send a little paragraph, an expletive-laden paragraph about how I will never fucking use new Outlook because they didn't even they took out features. They took out
Oh,
features. They took out important features of Outlook. One of the things that I have set up in my Outlook is that every time somebody sends a new contract into me to be onboarded, I have it move over. Please, if it comes in with this in its subject matter, move it to this folder
okay,
and
yeah.
play the Hallelujah chorus.
Hmm.
So I am absolutely know when somebody has sent in a contract because all of a sudden I hear the Hallelujah chorus. It's like, oh, I got a new client. New Outlook won't let you play a sound file. Won't let you play anything. And won't let you play any alert when they move something. It's an alert. Everybody uses an alert when they're if you want to know that something moved, you get an alert.
And shitification of all platforms.
And shitification.
Like
This
just
is
slowly
classic of
removing things. Yeah, AC Wraith said that Windows 11 is also free, but they choose to stick it to owners of older hardware. I
Well,
guess
they
it was
stuck it
in
to me, and I'm a owner of a brand new hardware, and they stuck it to me. The
it was
old
in testing
hardware
for
I could buy.
ages. Oh yeah, about that, he says even if I bought the most recent CPU my motherboard could support, I'd still be a CPU generation behind or away from Windows 11.
Mhm.
So Windows has always been a resource hog. Sounds
Yep.
like it's even more of one.
Yeah, it's absolute shitification of everything. So hold on to 10 for as long as you possibly can because it is 10 just works. But every time they ask me, why don't you want to move to new Outlook? I give them a piece of my mind every single time. Oh, in different ways and telling them all the different things that they fucked up with. But it's usually mostly expletives and ending with I will never fucking use new Outlook and if I have any choice. I will use pirated hacked software before I use Microsoft 11 or Outlook 11.
Mind you, it's not like it needs the CPU to run. It's just their choice of support.
Mhm.
I could install it, but then I'd be out of luck, just like with Windows 10.
Mhm. Yeah. Anyway, how do we get on that from the Sony to
I
Microsoft?
don't know. Okay, time for a good news story.
Okay.
Let's do good stuff.
All right.
Some footage from Battlefield 6 has leaked because EA held a playtest for Battlefield 6 with a bunch of people. And naturally, when you do that, a bunch of footage leaks.
Mhm.
And it looks
It
good.
looks good. It looks really good.
No. I don't want to say it looks good, exclamation mark. I want to say it looks good, question mark. I don't want to get too excited here.
Don't want to get your hopes up.
Um, but specifically, what looks really cool about it was the dynamic destruction. There's like a moment when someone shoots a rocket launcher into a building and it blows up the whole wall of a tank driving through walls and like crashing through a building. And looking at that, I think, are you finally going to give us what we've been asking for since Bad Company 2 for like the past 15 years of, hey, give us back these really cool destructible environments?
Mm-hmm.
Is it is
God,
is
that
it
was so much fun.
finally happening?
Much fun. Yeah.
And other than that, it looks like, oh yeah, kind of the return of classic things. You got the classes. You don't have the bullshit like specialist things that you used to
Yeah.
do. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're just kind of making a Battlefield game.
Mm-hmm. Going
And
back to its roots and
yeah,
doing what it did so right before that we loved.
not having the like 120 player maps that are too big.
The
It's like, no, it's a
de-shitification
show.
of Battlefield.
Well, based on a play test. Like I said,
Based on a playtest,
let's not get ahead of
possibly
ourselves.
with asterisks and caveats and addendums, but it looks like it could be the de-shitification of Battlefield
Yeah. Like
after many years of in-shitification.
watching a like 15-minute leak video. I was just watching it going, damn, that looks fun.
Mhm.
Like, damn, I could get into Battlefield again.
Yeah,
I
I
think
wanna
it's
I
it's
miss
been
Battlefield.
it's been long enough
Mhm,
that I could go for that.
mhm. I have some good stuff. Let me get to the video because this is 100% video based. Well, actually, no. Let's start with. We'll end on that one. We'll end on that one.
Okay.
But I do have other good news. Um, PS4 VR headset is now
Mm.
silly cheap. I mean,
Yeah,
compared to for a headset.
I think they saw that they bumped off $150 from all the SKUs.
Yep, yep. It is $399.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Considering that this is one of the best, if and I would venture to say the best VR headset on the market because it doesn't require you to sign into your Microsoft account and track absolutely everything you do to Mark Zuckerberg so that he can use
Oh
it
yeah,
against you.
Meta. Yeah, none of that bullshit Meta account.
The Meta Quests. Um, and it's cheaper, $100 cheaper than that. It's $100 more expensive than the Quest 3S, but again, you don't have to sign into Microsoft and hand off all of your information and what you do and what you're thinking and where you are and how you act to fucking Zuckerberg. But you can also use it on a PC.
Yes, I did buy that adapter. I haven't tried it out though.
Mhm.
I opened it and looked at the instructions. So it's a little much.
Mhm.
You know, using it with the PlayStation 5, just plug it in.
Right. Plug and
Just
play with your
plug it
PlayStation.
in. With the PC, it's
Little extra work, but you can do it.
little might be stretching it. Plug it in, plug it into
Medium
another
amount of extra work.
dongle, plug it into another dongle, plug those dongles into something else, plug that into the PC, and then plug that into a power adapter. And once you've got 8 wires, now you can play it.
Hey,
So
you
it's a little much, but honestly,
but it can be done.
it can be done. And honestly, at least for like what I've gotten out of it, I think the VR games on PlayStation are fine. Like
Mhm.
it kind of has a lot of the big ones. It's got like Beat Saber, Gorn, uh it doesn't have Half-Life Alex, but it's got the Horizon one that's really good.
Right, right. That's Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is
Yeah.
actually a really good game from what I hear.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of other really good VR games. I remember I said that after you in April when you were going to someplace, I forget. You're taking 2 weeks off in April, and I'll probably stream some VR
Oh,
during that time.
where I'm going to Utah.
Utah, that's right. That's
Going
right.
to Utah.
Oh yeah, there's a new Batman VR game that's
Mhm.
gotten pretty good reviews. That's on PlayStation. Like
Yep.
you, if you're if you are someone who's like I don't want a top of the line VR headset. I just want a headset to play VR games.
Mhm.
You can absolutely scratch that itch with the PSVR.
Right. And so Sony dropped the price to $399.99. And then everybody fell in line with that. Amazon, Target, Best Buy, they're all
Good.
of them now. They're $399.99 for the PSVR 2. We're talking about not the original.
Yes.
the
Yes.
2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm really, really surprised that it has been this long that the PSVR 2 is available. And no one has bought it for me for my birthday or Christmas.
I mean,
Now,
$600.
if Engineer
600
Kev
is a
was
little
still
much.
alive, right? But if Engineer Kev was alive, he absolutely would have bought it for me. But I'm really surprised nobody else has. It's not like everybody doesn't know I video game. So
Well, now
maybe might
you're
be
more likely.
this is the year. This is
Yeah.
the year somebody gets me a PSVR.
I'll go talk to Chris. We'll go halvesies on it.
Well, actually, yeah, now that I've got the whole like house thing, until I get people living in my house. Have I mentioned that we are Patreon funded? $1.25 is all we ask.
Help us pay rent and also PSVR 2.
No, we're not buying a PS. We're just buying the software, but Mama's got a whole lot less, wiggle room on her budget.
Oh yeah,
than she
and
used to
Piss
have.
does say that you can use it on PC, so technically you can play Half-Life
True.
Alex with it.
True.
It doesn't have all the same functionality, but yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old house can be your empty space to VR game.
No, I've got to get people in to rent that as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, so yeah, that was my good news. Your next item.
Let's keep on the good news train.
Mm-hmm.
Monster Hunter Wilds came out, and it has sold 8 million units in 3 days, which is the fastest Capcom game to reach that milestone.
And I've heard it's not too shabby.
I've heard that on PC, there's a lot of like technical issues.
Yeah, they're
but
doing a lot of patching.
other than that, people are really, really enjoying the hell out of it.
Oh, you know what I meant. Meta account.
Yeah.
Sign in your Facebook account. Yeah, thank you. There we go. There is the link for the best PR bundles. That's insane that it's doing that well. And I when it comes to to PC games, I don't think anybody expects games to not be a little jacked for PlayStation. For PC.
Yeah.
They kind of expect it to be like a little messed up, kind of like if you are going into an MMO, your servers are going to be fucked for at least the good, like minimum 2 weeks, probably closer to a month. If it's an MMO of any repute, servers are fucked, and that's just you have to expect that.
Battlefield 6 is going to have server issues for the first 2 weeks.
At least everybody's and matchmaking is not going to work. That's how it always is. But we have to accept that is just the state of affairs. And with PC games, especially really big ambitious PC games, the state of affairs is it's going to be a little jacked when it comes out, and they're going to start patching the shit out of it once it arrives.
Yeah.
But they'll eventually get it working. And then there's like extreme cases of it that weren't good, like Cyberpunk 2077. That was just that was broken. There's a fine line between a little jacked and broken, but yeah, you have to expect that.
Yeah. And yeah, even despite all that, it's taken off. And it's kind of nice to see this and Yakuza has like the little engine that could. Oh, these franchises have been around for a while, but now they're like you put in the time, you put in the effort, and now you're getting rewarded with the increased popularity. nice to see.
That's what I was hoping for Payday. I thought Payday was gonna be
No.
like that too, and it wasn't.
Well, it wasn't because Payday 3 came out, and I guess from what I heard, it had technical issues and connection problems, but also
Mhm.
was just like a step backwards.
Yeah.
I think I saw that there's more people playing Payday 2 than Payday 3, and
Payday 2 is
that's
such a good
never a good
game.
sign.
It was a great game. Yeah, it was just a bad game, which
Yeah.
is a shame.
I will say, for all the live service shit that we give all the companies,
Mhm.
um Sony's Fair Games is supposed to be a Payday like. And if I think there's a better chance of that hitting than Concord, because Concord is releasing into a 5v5 multiplayer, ecosystem that's filled with competition.
Right.
Payday 3 kind of flopped, and other than Payday 2, there's not a whole lot else in that genre space. So
Mhm.
I'm like, depending on how that game is, it could do well.
The only thing that comes close to it is the heists in Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. Everything else, there's no heist games. Unless I'm missing one. I don't know. All right. Then I will end. This is the last story I have. So we're coming up on 4:30. So we should probably wrap
Okay.
up. But
I got a couple. I got one more big one and then a lot of smaller ones.
okay. Well, a lot of smaller ones.
Like 3.
Okay, then you go again with your big one.
Okay. Assassin's Creed Shadows leaked.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when I say leaked, I mean all of it
Yeah.
leaked. Like
It
the whole freaking game leaked a month before release.
How did that happen? How
Oh,
did that happen?
I don't know. I mean, the game technically was supposed to be out by now
Right.
before it got delayed. But that is insane that it's a leak of that magnitude. Like the entire playable game. If I wanted to see the whole game, I could probably go on YouTube or Twitch or just Google and
Mhm.
see all of it.
Yeah. I know that it's out there. Here's the thing. When you leak that much of a game, oh, sorry, I don't have the thing. Where is it?
Oh,
There. When you leak that much of a game, I'm actually glad whoever leaked it leaked the whole thing. Because if you're a fan of the game and the whole thing is out there, you're probably not going to look because you don't want to wreck the game.
yeah.
Now, if it was a little bit of it out there, or even a lot, but not all, you might be tempted to go look. I think the fact that it was all of the game is actually a really good thing for Ubisoft because fewer people will be interested in looking at it because the whole game is leaked.
Yeah. And I think for a game that has kind of suffered so much pre-release controversy,
Mhm.
I think it's good actually that it leaked and we haven't heard much else about it.
Right.
Like there's not I remember when The Last of Us 2 was about to come out and a lot of story details leaked and they
Mhm.
were all over the internet. Like
Right.
it was harder to avoid that because there's a lot of controversial things about it and like people
Mhm.
were pissed off at the ways the story turned. And with this one, I haven't seen a lot about that. Like
No.
I regularly go on to the gaming leaks and rumors subreddit because it's fun to look at some of those things. I haven't seen people talking about this. Like, yes, it
There's a
leaked. Yes,
reason.
it's
That's
out
why
there.
nobody wants to watch it. Nobody
But I
wants to
also,
see it.
but I also think that it is pleasantly boring, right? For all the bullshit racist controversy that the game has suffered pre-release, I
Yeah.
think the game itself, the fact that no one is going, "Oh, I can't believe they did X, Y, and Z in the story. I can't believe
Mhm.
they did this." The fact that no one is shouting about that, I think sends a pretty positive message that all this pre-release controversy is manufactured and all bullshit. That once the game
Right.
comes out and people get a chance to play it, they're just going to have a good time with it. And I
Mhm.
think that makes me more excited for the game than like I would have been otherwise.
Mhm.
Of
Yeah.
knowing that, oh, You just kind of made a good game. Does
Yeah.
suck for Ubisoft though, and boy, there's a hole in that ship somewhere.
Yeah. Somebody's on the warpath about that. Yeah, and I mean, of the people who have looked at the leak, have we heard any opinions about how good it is?
I wouldn't know.
True. Everybody's looking away. They're all like, la 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 la. Can you la la?
Mm.
All right, next item.
Xbox has delayed Fable to 2026. There's kind of not much more news other than that. They haven't showed off much about it. Earlier this year, they had that showcase where they talked about games upcoming for this year, and Fable wasn't in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was probably a sign in retrospect. But they've got like 3 other games coming out this year, so that's
Right.
kind of okay.
Right. Yeah.
In addition, Neil Druckmann, the director of The Last of Us, head of Naughty Dog, has said in an interview, "Don't expect The Last of Us Part 3."
Yeah. Yeah,
Which-
that's kind of I'm actually kind of okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. The second game, I think, was lesser than the first one, but even that game ended in like a good place. It
Mhm.
ended like, okay, these characters have gone on arcs, they've done their thing. Like, you don't have to keep telling the story. It's okay to end it here.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they are, I think that is a good thing. I'm quite excited for their next game because it's something different. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad to see any artistic creator move on from an IP, because
Mhm.
so much of like media now is like, hey, we're gonna have another Alien, we're gonna have another Predator, we're gonna have another Game of Thrones, we're gonna have another Harry Potter,
It's
we're gonna have
not
another
milking it
thing,
to
thing,
death.
thing,
It's not
thing.
squeezing all the juice out until now you all just got the bitter rind and everybody just goes, "Oh, fuck, another
Yes.
Last of Us." Ugh.
Look, they got the TV show still going, and Naughty Dog can move on to something else.
Walk away and come back at a better date, at
Yeah.
a later time.
Walk away on top.
Yeah, leave them wanting more so that we
Yeah.
will always love it. And if for some strange reason you need to come back to it, like, episode 1 of Star Wars, if you need to come back, you can, and you can milk the shit out of it later.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, my last like good small news item.
mhm.
There's some talks that Konami and Bloober Team are working together on doing something else with Konami's IP. This is
Mhm.
coming after Bloober Team did the really well-regarded Silent Hill 2 remake.
Mhm.
And it's not, the rumors don't confirm that this is a Silent Hill game. It might be something else, but honestly, like looking at Konami's IP, remaking another Silent Hill game or just like making a new Silent Hill game
Mhm.
kind of makes more sense than Castlevania.
Right.
And so, hey, it's go for Bloober Team. They made a really good game after making a lot of games that didn't hit with me, and I'm kind of glad to see this is what Konami should have been doing.
Mhm.
They didn't want to make their own games, so let someone else make your games for you.
Right.
Like, about time. Now get someone to make a Castlevania game.
Yeah, exactly. All right. My last item.
Okay.
We'll end on the highest of high notes. Actually, this is not really high, but it's one of those we end the show on something weird and crazy.
Okay.
All right. So apparently Honda and Nintendo have teamed up to make a Pokemon motorcycle.
Oh, what the
And we
hell?
do have
Oh, we
a
need
video.
pictures.
Tell me that doesn't look great.
What the
Who wouldn't
fuck?
want to commute to work in that?
Oh, come on.
All of a sudden, I know what I want for Christmas. If I won the lottery, I would absolutely buy this. Now
It's
we don't see much.
oh my
We
god,
don't see much.
but it's not just a motorcycle with Pokemon pictures on it. It is a
No.
Pokemon has motorcycle.
Right, it's a Pokemon
Oh
as
jeez.
motorcycle. It is officially being called, it is actually the Corydon, which is, I guess, one of the Pokemon characters.
Hmm.
But one of the Pokemons.
Wait, March 7th? We should have more
Yeah.
information about this.
Well,
What?
apparently it was released at some. Where is it? Let me get the information. I've got the actual information. Let's see. The bike is a concept bike created last. No, that's something else. Honda says that the bike, fittingly dubbed, and I'm reading this from IGN, I think it was,
Ooh, I've got a
dubbed the Honda Koraidon, is, quote, an almost life-size reproduction of the shape of the Koraidon in both weight and size, down to the finest details. So they're going to be using their self-balancing technology to ensure that Koraidon will walk on all four legs and self-stand on two wheels.
I've got a picture from Video Game Chronicles.
Okay. Now it was apparently there's some kind of motorcycle event in Tokyo from the 6th to the 9th, and that's when they were releasing it on the 7th. All right. So here we go. We're adding this to the stage. Come on. Oh, I have to remove this. Now I can add to the stage. All right. That thing's pretty awesome. It will stand up and walk. I guess they're using some of their robotic technology from all the things that they made in robots in the past. But so it will walk, but it will also stand on both wheels like that because it has those four
I mean,
feet.
honestly, isn't that should be the next technology on motorcycles? Is motorcycles that can then, oh, did you get into a mud patch and you can't go? Well, just extend the legs to walk
It will
out of it.
walk out of it, right?
Like, come on, more
Well,
motorcycles
no,
should
it's
have this.
that's kind of like Steve Jobs's comments about styluses when they were making the iPhone, and they're like, "Are you going to ship it with a stylus?" He goes, "Why would I ship it with a stylus? We're born with 10 styluses already." And that's why adding a stylus, Tim Cook adding styluses to things, is just goes absolutely against everything that Steve Jobs would ever have stood for. He's rolling in his graves about that. In the same vein, we're born with two, things that get you out of mud puddles. They're called legs. We have them. We've been doing that for, since the beginning of motorcycles. We've been getting ourselves out of mud puddles with our feet and doing just fine. Thank you very much.
But why should I move when a robot can move for me?
I see. You're just a bad person. You really are. Just a bad person. Anyway, that's all I have. What are you going to do this week? Anything you're going to play? I know what you're going to do this week. Why do I even have to ask? You're going to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. I am going to try and I guess mount the ludicrously large, my ridiculously large television.
Yeah, that's gonna. How are you gonna mount that by yourself? Because that means you gotta lift it up and hold it in place while you.
Oh, I'm
screw it
not.
in, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Why would I do that when I can get a robot to do it? No, I'm hiring.
Fair.
That's
Okay.
what TaskRabbit is for. That's what TaskRabbit is for.
Okay.
I don't mount
okay.
TVs. Never have. Don't want to start now with a 75-inch television.
Actually, you know what? Before you drill a hole, find out where your studs are.
Actually, I probably will just do what you said and I'm just going to get the stand. I'm just going to get the stand and work with it until I can't stand it. And then I'm going to get rid of it and say, I don't want to mount this on my wall. So I'll just get the stand.
I've always liked the stands. They're just less hassle.
But the thing is that having the stand will require me to get the piece of furniture that it will stand on, correct?
That's true. Yeah.
I don't want to buy that piece of furniture. I want to get it from the woman next week, dirt cheap, which means that I won't be able to have a television.
I mean, you could. You just put it on the floor. Just put it on the floor.
I'm not going to put a 75.
Just put it on the floor. Live like a bachelor. Come on. TV on the floor and an air mattress.
Well, I do have a table, but it's a really high table. I would be playing like this. I don't
Go.
want
Mount it on the ceiling.
no. No. Anyway, anything else before we want to close this out?
No, yeah, I'm just deep into Kingdom Come. There's a bunch of other video games coming out soon.
He said, "Get the stand to not tick people off more about the couch storage." Yeah, good point. Although that wall is an internal wall, so I wouldn't be up against the neighbors at all.
Okay, that's good. You're not going to drill into someone else's apartment.
No, not going to do that. But
no, was there a day that Nick couldn't make it earlier this? Nick couldn't make it this month. He mentioned something earlier.
I thought you didn't. Didn't you have something going?
The 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th.
Yeah, I want to say you did have something.
Not off the top of my head. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess no. I guess you're stuck with us for the next few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember by next week, I'll let you know. But I fully plan to be here next week, the 16th. So
I fully plan to be here.
We'll figure it out then.
Yeah. In fact, if things go right next week with the sales lady, if things work out, we could be seeing my apartment for the first time.
Oh.
Because, I mean, I've got blazing fast Wi-Fi now. Chris gave me not only a his old cable modem, which is better than any cable modem I've ever owned. He gave me his old Wi-Fi router, which is better than any router I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah. He as soon as something new comes out, he switches.
Oh.
Yeah. He's one of those.
Okay.
So, like, he gave me an old router that was one of the Asus. Wasn't a surfboard, but it was some crazy ass thing with like arms coming out of it in all directions, and it didn't work, I guess. So I couldn't remember why I got rid of it. That must be it, because it didn't work. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy another one, and I bought a TP Link, and he's like, oh, you do not want a TP Link. No, that's bad. That's a security risk. So I have to return it now. And I got a cheap ass TP Link, and he's like, wait a minute. I have one more. In fact, it's a mesh system. I have a mesh system you can have. So I actually have a mesh system that can go. The one of them goes 5,000 square feet.
Wow.
I have 1,000 square feet, and I have two now. So I could like literally blanket. I have a modem that would give you an IUD.
Well, I'm getting it from my TV. I'm getting it from your
router.
Wi-Fi.
I'm a router that would give you an IUD. Anyway, all right. So with that,
UTI, not IUD.
I know. That's why I said it. Anyway, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 775. We are recording this on March 9th, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern here on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/GameHounds. On YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids, VIDS, all one word, and is in videos. And on Twitch, we are the GameHounds. We would love to have you join us any of those places live, to be in the chat room with Pissed and with AC Wraith and everybody else who was in there. Love to have you so that we could actually, riff together. But if you can't, understandable. You can go back on demand to watch us if you feel like watching us. But if you want to listen to us, like in your car, we are on Apple iTunes podcasts or any other place where you get podcasts. We are there. Just look for us, GameHounds Podcast. And it's this show but the audio version. Let me remind you, we are Patreon funded. $1.25 a month is all we ask to keep Mama from being homeless. No, that's not true. But more than ever now, it is very important that Mama budget's a little bit better. So every little bit that you can help to offset some of the cost of all the systems that are necessary, all the subscriptions I need to pay every month to keep this all going would be appreciated. Patreon.com/GameHounds to become a patron. Thank you. And to all of our current patrons, thank you so much. Seriously, this does really help. That's it. Guess what? Don't forget to join our Discord. Discord information is on any of those: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. It's in our description, and it's also in our Apple iTunes podcast description. Thanks, everyone. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Now's the time to buy a frozen turkey. Really, AC Ray? That's what you're going to tell me? Yeah. Actually, no. Mama may be eating frozen turkey, 2-year-old frozen turkey. All of a sudden, that is becoming a viable option for Mom.
That's right. Who needs groceries when you got frozen turkey?
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's it. AC Wraith, again, thank you. Thank you. Pissed, so good to see you. Love seeing you. And if you're still doing your podcast, shoot us a message in Discord so that we can, make sure that, we plug you, you plug us. And if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. See you, everyone. Have a good week. Bye.